the beginning, the Maasai people lived without cattle. Their lands were vast and green, with no cattle that would later define their culture. The first Maasai, a wise man named Oloibon, lived a simple life. His days were spent in harmony with nature, but he often felt that something was missing, a sense of purpose, a gift from the God that would bind his people to the land. One day, as Oloibon was contemplating these thoughts, God called out to him,
Oloibon, I have chosen you to be the father of a great people. But before I bestow upon you the gift that will ensure your people's prosperity, you must prove your readiness.
With reverence and determination, Oloibon responded,
I am your servant, Lord. Command me, and I shall obey.
God then instructed him,
Go now and build a large enclosure, a kraal that is sturdy and vast. When you have finished, return to me, and I will reveal your destiny.
Oloibon set to work immediately, gathering the strongest branches and weaving them into a formidable barrier. The kraal grew under his skillful hands, and soon it stood tall and wide, ready for whatever God intended. Exhausted but proud, Oloibon returned to God and informed him of his completed task.
Tomorrow, at the break of dawn, stay outside your house. There, I will give you a gift that will fulfill your purpose. But heed my words. No matter what you see or hear, remain silent and still. Do not let surprise or fear betray you.
Oloibon nodded, though his heart raced with anticipation. That night, sleep eluded him, his mind buzzing with thoughts of what was to come. Before the first light of the day touched the horizon, Oloibon was already at his post, seated waiting upon God's promise. As the sky began to glow with the dawn, a deep rumble echoed across the land. It was the sound of thunder, yet it carried with it a power unlike any storm Oloibon had ever known. The earth beneath his feet trembled, and the air crackled with energy. From the heavens, a long leather slide descended, stretching from the sky to the earth, its end landing precisely within the kraal Oloibon had built. Then, to Oloibon's astonishment, cattle began to descend down the slide. They were beautiful, majestic creatures with sleek coats and strong, powerful bodies. Their numbers were beyond counting, and they filled the kraal until it seemed that no more could possibly fit. The ground shook with their arrival, and the sound of their hooves was like a mighty drumbeat resonating through the land. Oloibon's heart pounded, but he remembered God's warning and remained silent, his eyes wide with wonder. However, not everyone in the household was aware of the event. Dorobo, a man who shared Oloibon's home, was awakened by the commotion. Curious and unaware of what was happening, he stumbled outside. When he saw the endless stream of cattle descending from the sky, his mouth fell open in shock. Unable to contain his amazement, he exclaimed,
"Ay.
a cry of utter disbelief. The moment the exclamation left the Dorobo's lips, the leather slide retracted with a swift, snapping motion. The cattle that had been descending halted abruptly, and the remaining herd in heaven was pulled back, disappearing from the sight. The earth stilled, and a heavy silence fell over the kraal. God's voice then thundered across the land.
Oloibon, is it that these cattle are enough for you? I had more to give, but it seems you have already received what you desire.
Oloibon, devastated by the sudden end of the miraculous event, knew that it was not he who had spoken, but the damage was done. He fell on the ground and cried out to God.
Lord, forgive me. It was not I who spoke, but my housemate, the Dorobo.
But God's decision was final.
You have received the cattle you are meant to have. Love them as I love you, for there will be no more.
Thank you. And because of the generosity you have shown me, I will call these animals Enigteng, to mean cows.
Filled with sorrow and anger, Oloibon turned to Dorobo, who stood trembling with guilt.
Dorobo, you have cut God's blessings with your foolishness. From this day forward, you and your descendants shall be cursed. You will remain poor, living off the wild creatures of the forest. You will be forever denied the milk of my cattle, which shall be poison to you if you ever taste it.
And so it was that the Maasai became the proud keepers of the cattle, their wealth measured in the size of their herds, while the Dorobo were condemned to the life of poverty, eking out an existence in the forests. The Maasai cherished their cattle, seeing them as a divine gift and a very heart of their culture. To this day, they remain deeply connected to their herds, remembering the lessons of Oloibon and the cautionary tale of the Dorobo.